I'm the guy who's been asked to ask you a few questions to do the article for today's event.
Okay.
So they have set up the video camera.
Over here?
Yeah. I hope you don't mind if I use my book.
No, please do.
I have a recorder set up here.
All right, great.
So you're familiar with this part of the world?
A little bit. When was the last time I was out here? June of '07, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't get out as much as I would like.
First question is, why should companies be bothered with encryptions if hackers are good at cracking them? We talk about security breaches and so on and so forth.
So the nature of the current security breaches have almost nothing to do with encryption. Modern encryption algorithms are, for all intents and purposes, not crackable in any meaningful time frame. You can, if you apply enough computer time to a crypto problem, you can eventually maybe crack a part of a message, but it would take years, and you'd have a part of a message. So that's not the reason that PGP, frankly, is doing so well is that it's one of the few steps you can take that is simply bulletproof in terms of protecting data.
Okay. So companies which have sensitive data to protect, encryption is the way to go.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, a lot of companies say encryption is another expense.
Right.
So if you look at other vendors, they're talking about unified approaches. They're talking about consoles, or at the network level they can do this and do that.
Right.
How do you go out and convince your customers, that information encryption is important?
Because all those other methods are a necessary and insufficient measure to thoroughly protect your data. Right. Firewalls protect data in company buildings. Intrusion detection systems will tell you if you've been breached. The problem is that sensitive data lives everywhere now, right? It's on your phone, it's on your laptop, it's on your thumb drive. And you need to have an integrated security approach to protect that data and have the protection travel with the data. And that's the story we tell customers.
Okay.
And then what differentiates us from other encryption vendors, because there are still a few independent encryption vendors.
They don't have to fear even if the information is lost.
Right. Well, and particularly in those areas that have very strict disclosure laws, like the U.S. and Europe do, where if you experience a breach, you have to publicly admit that and tell everybody whose information was breached that it's been breached.
Yeah.
Almost all of those laws have a safe harbor for encryption. So if you lose a laptop that had an encrypted drive, you don't have to disclose it because it's considered not breached. And so those stories resonate very strongly with our customers.
One last question. What single most important advice do you have, for corporations looking at improving or strengthening their security deployments?
Well, obviously, the use of a comprehensive encryption strategy is the thing that we always talk about. I think that it's not so much should you deploy encryption. I think everybody kind of admits they need to now. As you point out, it's another expense, and so the timing has to be right. And so the other thing we tell customers all the time is assume that you're going to need to deploy many, many different encryption applications. You're going to have to deploy one on your laptops, one on your file servers, one on your BlackBerry devices, one in your secure file transfer, another one in your email. Make sure you understand how you're going to manage all of those to get both consistent policy and key management applied against all of them. The fact of the matter is the individual encryption applications aren't all that hard to do. There's a lot of them out there. The hard thing is getting them integrated and managed and auditable.
I see. So your advice to them would be really to sit down, think through, strategize, and then execute.
Yes.
Okay, great. One last one. Does PGP still stand for pretty good privacy?
It doesn't stand for anything anymore. If you go up to our website, you will find we refer to pretty good privacy in the historical sense only.
I downloaded and used it before. That was ages ago. When I first started out on the Mac, and it was the only one available on the Mac at the time. So there's such a thing as an open key, public key, and so on and so forth.
Right. Well, and so everything we build is still based on open PGP protocols.
Okay.
Right. It's just that the products are not open source. They're something we charge for.
Yes.
I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but we just shipped a whole disk encryption product for the Macintosh about 5 months ago.
Oh, you did?
It's a very good product.
Okay. I'll just check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Okay. It's really hard to find, Mac users who go on stage and talk and.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. You may or may not find this interesting. One of the reasons that I'm a Mac user is like a lot of the rest of the executive team at PGP. I spent a long time at Apple Computer,
Oh, you did.
and did a lot of interesting things there. And do you remember the Apple Internet Connection Kit? It was the first thing that came out.
Yes,
I shipped
yes.
that product.
Oh, you did it. Oh,
I'm the one that
really?
did that product.
Voila.
And so, but what is also true is that we do probably half of our product development on Macintoshes, because if you think about what a Macintosh is these days, all it is a really great Unix box with an extra shell.
Yeah, that's right.
And so our engineers love them, and they're really fast and very effective, and they're not running the Macintosh shell so much, they're running command line Unix stuff. But,
yeah, that's right.
it makes them very productive, and we've always had Mac products since restarting the company.
Okay.
And it's been really interesting watching how much more important those products have become to our customers in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, everybody considers them the best laptop in the world right now.
It is. It is. I've in fact convinced two good friends, to switch from the PC to the Mac, and without me doing anything, I just, why don't you just go into the shop and
Right.
try it yourself? And they really found it out themselves.
Right. Well, I was feeling very fortunate. There's I got out here and I forgot my remote back home. I think my daughter hid it, and so I walked into the Macintosh store that's here in the shopping mall, which is a really good shop, and said, "Do you have a third-party, mouse advancer so I can advance my slides?" And they said, "Why would you do that? Just use the one that comes with the Mac." And I said, "Well, because I didn't bring it." And he said, "Oh, we carry them. I'll sell you one for 35 Singaporean dollars." So I said, "Fine." It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you. I believe you have a very tight schedule.